Hey guys, welcome to Feature Junkie. My name's Ed and thank you guys for joining me today. If this is your first time here, well, welcome. This is Feature Junkie, where we talk all things movies, TV shows, streaming, all that great stuff. And today we'll be talking about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episodes 4 and 5. So unfortunately, we can't do a reaction video to the show because of some copyright issues we've been having with uploading it to YouTube. However, we're definitely going to be talking about it. And as some of you guys might know, I was on vacation last week, so I wasn't able to watch episode 4. So I figured why not wait and watch it with episode 5. You guys know my biggest gripe of the show has been the length so far. So I tried to do like a test trial of watching them back to back and seeing how I'd like that. I definitely have a lot to say about it, but before I do, if you could leave a like down below, I greatly appreciate it. Definitely helps out a lot. Now let's get into talking about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Okay, so just like I said, I watched these episodes back to back just to see how the viewing experience would be, and honestly, I liked it a lot better. It still does feel like the episodes are a little bit rushed and there's no room to breathe in between scenes. For example, she'll be in the law office building and having a conversation for about a minute. Then it skips to her office and she's talking for about 30 seconds. Then it skips to the bar and then it skips to the trial room, back to her office. And that happens a lot throughout the show. But what they do great is they link the episodes together. So watching them back to back, it was definitely a better viewing experience where it picked off right from episode 4, goes right into episode 5 easily. So like I said, I'll be sharing my thoughts on episodes 4 and 5, but I'm sure that you guys want to hear about episode 5 because 4 already came out last week. So I'll be really quick on that one. So quickly, I thought that the Donnie Blaze stuff was kind of out of left field. Part of me feels like they threw it in there as like a spoof to Johnny Blaze, who we all know is Ghost Rider, leaning into like those speculations that he cameo in the show. But no, he's just some magician that couldn't cut it in the Kamar-Taj. I also found it a little bit weird that they didn't just take back the sling blades when he dropped out of the Kamar-Taj, rather than letting him keep it. This is supposed to be like a really sacred place, and those weapons, like they say in the show, is for defending the multiverse and different dimensional aspects that we can't see. So those are really powerful weapons. For some reason, they just didn't take them back. That literally would have prevented this entire episode from happening. But yeah, it's always fun seeing Wong. I will say though that I'm glad that they're starting to phase him out of the show, just because it started to feel like the She-Hulk and Wong show. The elements of like the law talk and stuff like that is really fun to see. I really don't know too much about law and what goes on with that stuff, but that's the kind of show that I thought I was getting into when I first started She-Hulk, and it's really great that we're starting to pick up into that pace of that specific type of show. It sucks that she's meeting straight duds in that dating app, but we get to see in episode 5 that they play a pretty important part in winning her case against Titania when she tries to sue Jen for using the She-Hulk name. So now that we're in episode 5, the amazing Renee Ellis Goldsberg is front and center to represent Jen. She shows up in like episode 3 or something like that, but only for like 10 seconds. But in episode 5, she's basically in there the entire time, and she does a really great job being that empowering female lead in this episode. I might have missed it. I'm not really sure why she has like a distaste for Jen in this episode. It might have to do with, her feeling like she had to work for her position and work to get over like the stigma of women in the law workspace. And then it feels like Jen kind of just got her job just because she's She-Hulk. So that might have something to do with it. However, I do like that they do come together at the end of the show. Are starting to get along, and I hope she's a bigger character throughout this series as well, because I really like their chemistry together. Also, watching these episodes, something that really just dawned on me, especially in this episode, is that the CGI might look a little bit weird because of her clothing is just so like big, loose, and like flowy. Now it makes sense that she has those type of clothes because they don't really make women clothes that are the size of like Shaq, but it does like feel really weird that, I don't know, like her head is very like small in compared to those specific clothes, so it doesn't really fit her body. So I'm glad we're finding something that's more suitable for her. So those things add to the realistic value of her head not being like disproportionate to the suit, because now it all fits with her body the way she just is. Another thing I'm picking up throughout the show is that this is really a show about the development of Jennifer Walters becoming She-Hulk. In episode 1, she turns into She-Hulk. Episode 2, she's in denial of being She-Hulk. Episode 3 shows like whether she likes it or not, she is She-Hulk. Episode 4 is coming to grips with the reality of her dating life as She-Hulk and people using her for just her abilities. And now we're here at episode 5 where she's fighting for her name of She-Hulk. She's getting her superhero outfit. She's trying to find self-love, self-worth, and she'll still be learning all that along with her abilities probably till the last episode of the series. And I think that's when she finds out what the best version of herself is. And it's not just Jennifer Walters and it's not just She-Hulk. It's Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk combined together. I kind of attribute this type of style to like how Tom Holland's Spider-Man didn't really have an origin story. Rather, his origin was spread through 6 films, and that's basically what's happening with Jen over the span of this series. Now, I was a little bit sad there's no end credit scene in this episode. I'll be honest, I started to get spoiled with the end credit scenes for She-Hulk because they've been so funny and so good. But with that being said, the last 10 seconds of the show when they showed the Daredevil mask got a big pop out of me. This has to mean that he's coming soon, and I can't wait for him to show up in this show. There was reports out of D23 that they showed footage of Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock, and apparently things get pretty steamy between them. So I'm really excited to see how that whole thing plays out. They're two great people. They're two lawyers, you know, they both have that whole superhero thing going on so they can understand each other more. And I hope we really get into that aspect of possibly Jen and Matt Murdock dating. And also a callback to episode 3 when the Wrecking Crew tried to stab Jennifer Walters. I really think they're trying to tie in Wilson Fisk, who is Kingpin, to be the big bad in this series. They haven't shown much yet, but Kingpin loves to send his goons to do his dirty work for him. And with the small Daredevil helmet cameo, I think that they want to start trying to tie in all these series together with Echo and Hawkeye. My one thing that's holding me a little bit back is that this show is based in California, and you know, Kingpin is doing all that stuff with Echo and Hawkeye in New York. Now Kingpin is rich, so he can have ties wherever he wants, whether it be, you know, Dallas or Miami, New York City, California, anything like that. So it's possible, who knows? But I want to hear from you guys what your thoughts are on episodes 4 and 5, whether if they're good, if you like this show, or if you have, you know, some reservations to it. Whatever it is, leave those thoughts in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, hit that notification icon down below so you know when I'm going live or dropping new content. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Feature Junkie.